You ready?
All right, welcome back to Less Cash, More Mash. My name's Tom.
And today, I'm Safety Mike.
It's Safety Mike, all right. Well, today we have a special episode. So we want to thank Paul Anderson for making this request. I think I've had this in the past. I shouldn't even say I can remember. Back in the days when I would grab a plastic handle and just guzzle it down. So he told us he wanted to see what our review would be on this. We searched long and far.
This was not an easy pick.
It's funny because this usually is in my store, and I saw it in my store, and the day that you had requested it, and then I hadn't gone back to it. And he went to like 6 other stores, and we couldn't find
12.
it. Well, this was like a regular. But anyways, Old Crow is what we're going to try today. So Old Crow, for a handle, 1.75 liter, it was $21.99 where he bought it. It's 80 proof. And again, I'm kind of excited to try it because I haven't tried it in a while. And in full disclosure, doing this, if you plan on not wrecking yourself, Paul, and you want to start upgrading like we're doing, the problem with that is when you start tasting the complexity of some of these other ones, it really, like my 10 high, it's almost putting some of them to shame when you start. I'm kind of wrecking myself for the bottom barrel ones, but there you go. So here's your episode, Paul. Thank you for your suggestion, and I'm actually kind of excited to try it. So,
and you see the venue's changed just because we're going to keep everything behind.
Yeah, full disclosure, we have a few videos, between work schedules and stuff. We want to try to keep them coming out at least 2 a week. So we're going to put this out on a different day. So this is going to come out on a different day. And we didn't want to show some of the other bottles that we already did reviews on because they're going to be behind us and stuff. So we moved a little bit, but we'll do this.
Which is ongoing and moving.
It's going to continuously move, yeah. Anyways, that's another thing. If you start making your own collection, you need room. And the collection keeps expanding, and you keep needing more room. So anyway, so there you go. So couple fun facts for this one. Old Crow was actually a Scotsman by the name of Dr. James Crow had came over, and he actually invented the sour mash process. So that was the rumor. He was like one of the first ones to do it back in 1835. And in fact, Old Crow was rumored to be the first bourbon to actually use the sour mash process. So the actual Old Crow distillery is currently abandoned. They were bought out by Jim Beam back in 1987, and it's actually rumored to be haunted. And I think they actually do tours and stuff, is what Mike was saying. That so that would be actually neat to go see. I would actually.
It's a pretty neat building. If you do Google Old Crow, it shows the old distillery. It's kind of in a wreck, but it does look spooky.
I'll be honest with you. I like the haunted.
If they did a film, like a movie there, you would swear it'd be part of that one of them haunted things. So.
I would like to do the tour.
Neat to look at.
I've gone to Williamsburg a couple of times, and I did the haunted Williamsburg tour. That's actually pretty cool if you ever get down in Williamsburg area. You hear I've seen some of them on the Unsolved Mysteries and stuff on TV.
They actually have one in York, up in York.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
And
believe it or not, type
so screw cap, so there was no dramatic pop on the thing, but it's got nice color.
It wasn't as easy, maybe back in the day, as he said. It might have been.
You know what it is, too? Bourbon is so expensive right now that there might be more people grabbing. I mean, this supposedly has the same mash bill and the same as Jim Beam. And so, I mean, this is cheap compared to...
The funny part, though, is almost every liquor store I went into, there'd be like 10 bottles, 8 bottles, 5 bottles deep of 10 high. And only like one other cheap bottle. And they had like an alley for Old Crow, but that was gone.
And it's funny because Paul brought this up, actually. He had said that it's a blended whiskey now, and it used to be a real whiskey. It's a blended whiskey. And I actually read the bottle. I was drinking it the other day, and the 10 high is so sweet and candy-like without any of the... It tastes fake. It says some artificial flavors actually say it on 10 high. And again, it gives you that bourbon flavor, but the more I've drank all these other different bourbons and stuff...
His opinion.
Just
stating it.
No, I am. It is my 100%.
We don't
my
need
opinion.
10 high saying it.
No, it says right on the bottle.
No, it does.
Added flavors, but it tastes fake to me. It really does. Now, the more I've drank, I went back to early times, and it's so much more complex than 10 high is. But all right, let's see what we got here. You know, I've watched a few too, and I'm starting to be a believer. You know, a day later, this is better. I'm almost wondering if we should stop doing the uncorkings and then cork them a week before, let them air out a little bit, really, because
it does seem to change. Even like if I take something home and it sloshes in my truck and then even like the next smell after is different.
Yeah.
Like right now, if you smell it, you probably maybe get an alcohol hint, but there's really not an alcohol hint at all.
I'm almost wondering if we should just do a neck drink and then do an actual opening after it's already been opened. You know what I mean? Like
that could be possible because I could open them first.
Darn it, we have to drink more. Yeah, but I'm wondering because really, even just sitting here in the 10 minutes or the 20 minutes it takes us to do the review, it usually changes in the glass. You start getting more. I gotta get a sip in me. I don't have any in me, but. Right off the bat,
I'm kind of getting like a Werther's type.
I get a little caramel, but I'm getting a hint of a fruit, and I haven't figured out what it is yet. That's what I'm at first. I was almost. I've been doing some crash stuff on trying to figure out different flavors. I've been smelling everything in my house. Let me take a sip.
Again, for another cheap whiskey. It is whiskey rather than bourbon.
This one's a bourbon.
There's like nothing harsh about this.
No, and again, this is
not a bad flavor. This is actually for what, 22?
Yeah, $21.99. I think you said. No, and this is when I switched off of scotch, and now like we were talking earlier, you go back to drinking the scotches and I'm like, wow, I don't know what I saw and I'm compared to what I saw was a price tag. They were cheaper, that's what it was, but there's a lot to me. It's and the true scotch people that drink scotch are gonna hate us, would blast me for this, but because they say scotch is much more complex than bourbon, but to me the bourbon flavors are
the notes
more
and the flavors
to me
and the taste.
Somehow they get through the peat, and I haven't been able to try that. I've been doing my research. Trust me, I'll get it eventually, but I haven't been able to get any flavor except for medicinal out of the scotch. I really haven't.
I'm almost half leaning towards that initial smell. It's really not. It is almost like a dirty Band-Aid. It's like a swamp walk.
It's 100%. It's like some doctor's office. You know the hair cutting kit.
Trying to make it clean.
Yeah, the hair cutting kit. They put the clippers in there, so like in the barber shop, like it's medicinal, big time. Honestly, the mouthfeel on this is actually really good. It coats nice. It's not a super long finish, but
no, and a slight tingle.
I don't know if I'm getting so much the Werther's candy as I'm getting that combination of the brown sugar vanilla when you like if you wet. I did that downstairs.
What is a word? Oh,
it's pretty close.
Butterscotch. I mean,
not so much a butterscotch. I wonder what this is going to turn into in a day.
That's why I'm not saying. But isn't what you just said? Isn't that like a Werther's?
It is kind of a Werther's.
Isn't it like
it's a caramel? Yeah.
And
but to me, it's a stronger caramel flavor, and this is kind of like a. It's not as strong.
It's not harsh.
I got the sugar babies over there. It's almost like the sugar baby flavor, which is not as strong as like what I remember a sugar daddy being. It's more of a candied.
Because it's coated.
Yeah, it's more of a candied flavored one. And it kind of reminded me of that.
It's actually funny. When we were just away, I bought like an assortment of different lollipops and sugar babies and sugar daddies for the same reason. I'm tired. I can't figure this out. I don't know what to do with the scotch just yet.
I can't figure that out.
I know what honestly. I got to go into the swamp and.
This actually, for an 80 proofer, it actually drinks. It drinks really nice.
It does.
This actually drinks. Because it's not water-esque. It sits on your tongue a little bit. This kind of reminded me of Ezra Brooks. That's what it's kind of given me. It's given me a little bit more.
Ezra might have had a little more of a
Ezra, I think, was a 90. I think that was a 90.
So I was gonna say, I think that had a little more of a punch.
This is
but not smell, but just a flavor. You tend to notice that one a little more. I thought. I don't know.
I haven't had that one in a while, but that's what it's kind of reminding me of.
It's right here.
I know, but there wasn't a lot left when it came back, so I haven't gone back at that one because I
did kind of like that one.
I'm trying not to bury the bottles. I mean, we're gonna eventually start killing bottles. That's all there is to it. But
was that Total Wine only, or was that?
I haven't seen it anywhere else, so I don't know. That was one of them. I'm not sure. This really has a really good nose. The more this sits in my cup, the
at
more
some point, actually, we'll have to put like a TW on them
to see which one. Well,
so we know like which one actually is Total Wine.
Yeah.
And again, nothing against it because we've had some really good luck. And again, even all of them.
I planned on trying to compare this to my 10 High, just because
I think it's gonna smoke it.
But
I'll have to go get glasses.
Go ahead.
Because I think this is gonna smoke it.
Go ahead. We can dawdle. I have to agree with you only because of the. He's just gonna get something. He'll be right back. He's gonna be right back, buddy. Okay, go see what he's doing. You know, I really do, and actually, you know what? I wanted you to try this anyways.
I'll bring the 10 High.
Because I wanted you to see the difference. What I was talking about when I used to drink 10 High, I literally used to I'd fill my mason jar up, and I would just fill the cup up with ice, and I would guzzle it down, and the flavor fought through, and I used to think, but it wasn't.
It's a sweet smell.
It was super sweet, and now that I'm drinking it straight like this is what makes me realize, oh no, that is way sweeter than it really should be. Like to me, like it's almost
maybe that's what they're going for, I guess. But
when I used to bury it on the ice, I didn't notice it, but now that I'm drinking, now that I'm drinking it compared to all the other ones that we have, it really. I gotta say it's lacking. It really is. I mean, it's a good, easy starter.
Different smell to start, but
yeah, well, could be drinking.
I'm gonna let that sit for a second.
I mean, again,
drinking wise, I smell the vanilla or the word type here in the nose. Drinking wise, it's very silky.
Yeah,
it's.
Yeah.
This is actually.
This does have a 3-year statement.
You wouldn't want to mix that.
No.
It wouldn't hold up.
Well, instead of the 10 High, we should actually got Jim Beam since it's another one, but we can do that in another episode too.
No, guys, you swearing by this one.
No. I always that was $14.99 when I bought it. So
$17.
It's not depending on the stores. But I haven't seen, but when I bought that, that's what I was paying. That's why I used to swear by it. It was just it was my cheapest go-to.
You get a brown sugar now. Now it's been sitting here.
You do get the flavor. Now wait till you try it. When you're gonna get a ton of caramel flavor. This one's caramel. Literally, it tastes like you're drinking a Werther's. The 10 High. Zero burn whatsoever. 100% smooth. Drink it down. To me, it almost tastes like there's like a flavor in it.
Actually, you get a little more oak in this though. With the caramel after, I think.
But it's so intense with so little burn.
You don't really get no burn
at all.
But you don't really get the oak flavor in this.
No. You get
this is almost like the.
Which one is in your right hand? Because you're always confused.
This is Old Crow.
Okay, all right. So mine's on the left. So you confused me when you kept saying this. So your Old Crow, it doesn't have, but you get.
It doesn't have the oak flavor. Much.
It drinks like it has a proof to it though.
It does, but it's still very easy.
Smooth as soap.
Yes.
But it gives you a slight, ever so slight tingle on the tongue, like it has some kind of a proof. When I drink 10 High, it gives me zero tongue feel at all. It just drinks down. Gives me that nice flavor to me. But
in the end.
Right, but it's not giving me any of like a tongue tingle at all. Mm-hmm. Like it almost tastes like there's no proof to it. And trust me, I've woken up on the floor with it. There's a proof.
Yeah, either one, it has a proof. Just, it's not. Like,
I still love it. Don't get me wrong. But to me, when you drink it and compare it like this back to back, it really leaves. To me, it really leaves like a candy caramel flavor in your mouth, though. Old Crow. I mean, 10 High. Really,
and more of an oak.
Yeah,
more of an oak flavor.
I still swear by it.
For 3 years, you don't really taste the oak.
No.
To me, I don't really taste any oak in this.
I like the smell though.
No, I do like the smell.
And I do like the taste of the
get
Old
like
Crow too.
I get like a caramelly flavor out of the 10 high on the way down.
And then that's what makes it, because it's so smooth and so gentle, it almost makes me think it's not real.
And
It does say artificial flavors, because when he had mentioned something about 10 high, I went back and read it, because I was like, is it blended? This and that. And I don't mind blends, because sometimes the blends just the variety stuff. But it does say artificial flavors, and that was one thing that people said you got to watch out for.
I don't think that one did. Yeah,
Old Crow does. I don't think this one says it.
I don't think it did. I thought it'd be up on the label.
They said it's the same mash and the same. It's just not aged as long as Jim Beam, but Jim Beam's only aged 3 years. The white label, and because the Jim Beam Black I think is 6 years. This is aged full 3 years in new charred white oak barrels, right on the thing for the Old Crow. So,
But is that where Jim Beam is? The address? That's about it. I wasn't sure of.
well, that's
Where it's distilled.
drinksmart.com. I
Well,
don't
it's
know where
distilled somewhere. It says
it says it's
Claremont or something. Is that where Jim Beam is? Right here.
Frankfurt, Claremont. How come I thought they were in somewhere else, Kentucky? We have bottles over there.
That's the only part. Unless this is like an older bottle that's been hanging around and just unloaded it. I wasn't sure. And then it was rebought, or are they keeping everything the same?
This can't be an old bottle. That would be. It was 1987 when they bought them out. Yeah, I mean, again, our fun facts are only fun facts. Google doesn't lie.
That's the only difference that I
That is
found
weird.
on. I didn't recall that being not there, but where I didn't recall that address being Jim Beam. Unless they have a different.
You're gonna make me. If he wasn't sitting on my lap, I'd run over on the other side of the room.
What
As
do
you
you
can tell, we're actually in my son's section where
What
he
do you
does
want, Jim
turkey
Beam
sausage. Well, just
straight?
where are they from? Where are they from?
Wait for it, something.
That was just curiosity. Now that you brought it up, we might as well give the people what you brought up.
What Wigan?
Top shelf. Right in eye level. Yeah. They might be Frankfurt, Kentucky, though. Jim Beam. Either way,
Claremont.
it is Claremont. All right, there you go, Claremont.
Okay, problem solved.
There it is. It said it was brewed in the Beam distilleries now. So.
And go see the haunted house.
And now that the more even the 10 high sits in there, you do get the nice smells. You know what? I still swear by my 10 high. I mean, it does come with so much flavor though. It was almost scaring me the other day. But 10 high really comes with that caramelly, real like a caramel flavor. Where when you start drinking like some of the other ones that bring a lot more cherry or banana, it's almost more of a complexity.
With the 10 high, I don't really smell it.
None at all. Where this one,
You may even get
this
like
one,
you might even get like a
I
crushed nut.
bet later when you bring this back, a quarter away full. But I bet when you bring this back, it's gonna. I bet there's gonna be a cherry flavor in here. Like I'm feeling like I can almost smell a cherry. It just hasn't developed yet. Like I'm almost feeling it. Like I'm almost getting that. I'm almost getting like the cherry nut bread. You know, like the zucchini bread you made with the fruit. Because I can smell like a brown sugar. I'm getting a nice brown sugar out of that Old Crow. Like I'm getting that vanilla brown sugar flavor.
No, I kind of get that. That's why. That's where the word is kind of because it wasn't a heavy brown sugar to me.
Where this one reminds me more of a world. It's more like that caramel candy flavor on the 10 high. Where this one, it kind of brings me almost to the bread. I'm almost in the banana breads to me. Like without the banana, I'm not smelling any banana. But when you made like a zucchini bread with the like put cherries in it, that's what I'm almost smelling. Like a fruit nut bread, little nut. That's what I get out of the Old Crow. Actually, the more I smell it, the more it sits here. I'm almost convinced we can start opening these. But
as far as
it's
a good find.
It's actually a great find. Thank you very much, Paul, for the suggestion. And
it was a pain in the ass, but it was actually
no. But this is going to be. You know what? Honestly, this is going to be one I'm going to throw on my shelf because this is a perfect daily drinker. Like you pour yourself a good one. And
I know this is your go-to, and I like the other one I brought, but I almost kind of like this one better.
No, I would 100% go to that one. I would drink this in a heartbeat.
For a couple of dollars more, I think. Plastic to plastic, me personally,
I know for a fact I've had this in the past because
I never have.
when this was 10 high was always the cheapest one on the rack when I grabbed it. So I used to grab them 4 or 5 at a whack.
It is still available.
I used to grab them 4 or 5 at a whack.
Everywhere I've been,
Yeah.
in the 32 liquor stores. And
You know, the funny thing is, because I didn't see them for the longest time. So in the beginning, I was drinking like these, Old Crow, and there's other ones, and I'm going to have to start looking again. I'm going to go back to my
I got a
plastic
couple of
bottles.
those. I got a couple
And
more.
so when I started, I didn't find 10 high in the beginning. And then I switched to
Pretty popular
Scotch.
now.
But then I switched to Scotch. And then when I went back to bourbon, I found 10 high, and I just stayed with it because it was just a happy-go-lucky drinking drink. And
even in the more expensive areas of the cities and towns and vacation spots, this one is very readily available. This one, it's on the shelf. There's a spot for it,
but it's bought.
But it's usually gone.
Because you're talking bottom of the bottom right there. It's usually the cheapest bottle on the rack. So some people don't want to feel...
Old timers kind of know, I guess.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? They're
No,
like, all
no,
right,
people get...
$2 more.
Listen, you know, a lot of people make a lot more money than I do. You know what I mean?
Both of us.
And that's just it. But you know what? When you drink like we do, let's be honest, you're looking for a bottle like this to carry you over. You get a fancy bottle and you do a single pour or something, and then you're like, no, I can't drink like that. Because honestly, the hardest thing doing a collection with 750, and we're going to have to wrap this up because we've been babbling forever. But, you know, I can kill a 750. You know, that's like a night if I'm having a bad night.
Drink responsible.
Don't do like I do. But so like I always bought a handle and it would last a couple days.
And if you're not 21,
you
shouldn't be watching this.
But overall, again,
hit subscribe.
thank you for the suggestion, Paul.
Yes,
and
thank you.
I thank you for the addition. Let's just be honest. This is a great addition to the thing. And this will be one of my go-to. Well, if I get it back, I'll have to buy. But thank you for buying it. But this would be this is a great daily drinker.
Yes,
I will happily buy another one and keep it on the rack at all times because when in doubt, it is very good. And again, like you said, for $5 extra or whatever it is, it's 17 for that now. I haven't bought the 10 high.
It's like $17.99. Last I've seen, almost everywhere I've been. But
It would be interesting to
think
hit
the
back
notes
to
are
back. You could 10 high smells. It smells fake. I'm telling you, like I'm smelling 10 high in my hand, and I get that heavy vanilla smell with 10 high. But it almost smells like they put vanilla in as an additive flavor. Like and it says
nothing says they can't. So
it says right on the bottle with natural flavors added. So it almost smells like there's actually extra vanilla in the 10 high. It's so strong. Where this one
on that. I guess for a whopping $40,
$6.
You can go challenge yourself. And see.
Yeah, and try them both, right? And I again,
drinking wise, I think this is, and not that this is hard at all. I just think this is like a super easy sipper, and
10 high is almost too easy to me.
And that maybe it seems like it may have a little more of a tingle in that. Other than that,
see, maybe because I drank so much of it. Like to me, 10 high is just like
they don't linger
right
long.
No. Where this one, when the Old Crow, it gives me a little tongue tingle on the side, just a little bit. Not like when we're drinking 100 proofers or anything more like that, but it just gives me a tiny little tongue tingle.
Give you a little bit. It's just you're not gonna.
Two different whiskeys, hands down.
Even though they're supposed to be close,
but
they are. So isn't all the others.
The fun part of having this collection is how different every bottle on that shelf is. They all have a distinct flavor. So I can't wait to start doing blinds to see which ones actually win. Because you know what? One day, what you ate the day before, your mood, everything takes into consideration on which one you like of the day. So there you go. We babbled long enough. Old Crow, thank you for your suggestion. Keep them coming. Thanks for your comments.
We like the comments.
Yep.
Subscribe.
And especially ones like this, because this is actually a hidden gem. This is one of the ones that I've had in the past, I think. But when you said it, I'm like pretty sure.
You can actually even make a comment how accessible it is in your area, because we did some traveling to get this one.
Yeah. So there you go. Thank you again. 2 huge thumbs up from me. I like
Siskel
and Hebert, huge thumbs up going on this one. So, no, this is really good. Thank you.
And take the tour. Ooh.
I would love to go down there and take the tour. I really would. I like that spooky stuff. So there you go. As always, spend less, drink more. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
It's a pretty neat little building. You should see it.
Oh, I can only imagine it. Anything down there. I would love to.